Ladies and gents, I cannot believe what I'm seeing on this chart right here. People have turned so bullish off this move right here, and I need to break down for you exactly why I think this is a massive trap. Now, so far on this YouTube channel, we were pretty correct about what we were looking at here, this being a descending channel and Bitcoin getting a breakout, and Bitcoin's just now trading really well inside of what is a resistance zone at the moment, and I'm going to show this to you in just a minute. But you know what I find really concerning about this right now is that yes, I think we could continue rallying up a little bit higher, but guys, people have just turned so bullish off basically, I mean, you know, really what's not a huge price move, right? If we measure it from the low to the current price, we're only up by 7%. We've done that kind of move before multiple times, right? We're not actually doing something super crazy, but because we're doing it now for the first time, having a real breakout for about, I mean, we can just measure this for about 2 weeks, 16 days. I think that's why people are getting very excited over this right now, because they feel like Bitcoin is in a position right now where previously it wasn't looking very attractive, and now it started to rally really nicely. And I think that's really starting to excite a lot of people, but that is a big problem, and I want to show you exactly why. So the first key reason is right here, this Ichimoku cloud that I've been looking at for Bitcoin. You know, it is still offering resistance, right? And I think we can tell this pretty clearly, right? I mean, if I take off all of my drawings, we can see pretty clearly that before Bitcoin hits the resistance cloud, we're moving up pardon me, moving up pretty quickly. You know, I mean, we can just measure the candles. These are pretty strong candles, right? This is a 1% candle. The next one is a nearly 1% candle. The next one is a 2.1% candle. These are fairly strong candles, but then as soon as we enter, we're not able to pull that kind of price action again. We're having 0.2% candles, 0.5% candles, right? So this is just one way to measure how the market has very clearly, visibly lost strength since it entered the Ichimoku cloud. But we knew that would happen. That was also pretty obvious. You know, this is a resistance area, and so naturally we're going to find resistance in it. Not only that, on the daily time frame, if we look at the EMA ribbon, which I'll talk about just a little bit more later on, but yeah, we do have resistance from this daily EMA ribbon right now, right here. Again, these are the same things we've been warning about on this channel for quite a while, so if you are subscribed already, you're gonna know all about exactly what we were talking about right there, because guys, none of this, and I mean absolutely none of this, has taken us by surprise right now on this YouTube channel, because we already knew exactly to look for. But what I find to be quite concerning, right, is that, see, it's got this Ichimoku resistance right here. Now, granted, I don't think it's going to be a huge problem for Bitcoin. I was saying before, I'm fairly optimistic that Bitcoin is going to be able to break this Ichimoku cloud just because of all the consolidation it had. However, the key problem is that right at the top of this cloud is where the daily EMA resistance starts. And above that, we've got even more daily EMA resistance. And if you don't know what EMA ribbons are, or exponential moving averages in general, if you don't know what they are, then go ahead and pause the video right now and type this into the YouTube search bar to watch my free video on it. This is part of my paid Fourth Lies Academy courses, but you're getting it for free, so take advantage of it while you can right here. It's an absolutely beautiful video showing you how to get these indicators and how to use them. They are very strong. But what we have is, yeah, more resistance overhead, and we're seeing all of this at a time where, I mean, if we just take a quick look at the funding rates, I'm curious to see what this is showing us right now, because I haven't actually looked, and we switch it over to, just want to remove the RSI and switch it over to the daily time frame. I want to see, are we seeing a dip? We're not seeing a huge change in the funding rates, not even on the 1 hour time frame, I'm guessing. Yeah, they're staying pretty stable right now. However, if we look at the classic fear and greed index, it is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry guys, it's just absolutely insane. I can't believe I'm seeing such a big jump right here. I knew we would be seeing a jump, right? I was telling you guys, people are going to get really happy, those topless Russian model parties on yachts and stuff like that. The same analogy I was giving you guys of how people are going to be, you know, just really starting to rub themselves off to the price action again because of Bitcoin starting to get these bullish breakouts. But this much, like, you know, we're talking about an 18-point jump. 18-point jump. For what? Absolutely nothing happened. Like I've shown you just at the beginning of this video, we're only up by 7.6%, something like that, about 8%, right? We've had rallies that are equally this strong before, and we didn't jump up this high in terms of sentiment. The only reason we're getting this huge jump up in terms of sentiment is because we've been consolidating for so long, and we've had the first meaningful breakout in a long time. Now, here is where I have to refer you back to how they actually calculate this fear and greed index, because it's not foolproof, right? Like, it's not actually, and this is something very important, right? A lot of people don't even consider this stuff, because I don't know why they don't. It's really weird why you wouldn't consider this, but it's very important to understand the tools that you're using, at least the ones you can, you know, like the Fibonacci tools. Yeah, forget it, you're never going to understand that. But things like this, it's pretty easily laid out. It's showing you what different metrics they use to take into account when producing this fear and greed index rating every day. You can pause the video just to read this, and I think it's absolutely essential, so I'm just going to hide my webcam right here. And by the way, if you just want to find this, if you just type in the fear and greed index for crypto on Google, you'll see it. And so, you know, I'm not saying that this data is flawed. I believe it, and the reason I believe it is if you just kind of look around at sentiment, people are getting quite excited again. But the primary problem with this is that we're seeing such a big jump as we approach these resistance levels. And one of the key things I was saying on this YouTube channel before, again, shout out to those of you who are subscribed, because you're going to know all about it. One of the key things I've been saying on this YouTube channel for quite a while is that actually, you know, oh shit, I forgot. Oh yeah, if we manage to get this breakout to the upside from this descending channel right here, we're probably going to be approaching resistance, but I will have to revisit it at the time and tell you what my final opinion is, because it might change once we get the breakout. However, it's not changing right here. You know, I was hoping that I would be able to put a more bullish case forward and say that actually Bitcoin's going to be able to penetrate through all of these resistance areas. And guys, remember, the daily EMA resistance ends over here and begins right at our current top. So like, all of this is where resistance starts on the long-term time frame. That's a really, really important thing to keep in mind, right? Bitcoin can keep rising, for sure. In the short term, it definitely can. It's nearly broken all of its resistance. On the 4-hour EMA ribbon, we're already above momentum resistance right here. So we absolutely can continue rising, right? I mean, we don't have enough of a spread right here to use it as support, although we do on the hourly time frame. And by the way, I just want to get sidetracked here for a second to show you guys that we got a really healthy spread on the 1-hour EMA ribbon right now. So if Bitcoin does end up dropping, we could be looking at finding support all the way down to about $48,000. And the last time that we saw such a healthy, you know, kind of spread like this in very real terms was actually way back in November over here, is when we had such a healthy bullish EMA ribbon on the 1-hour time frame. So I just want to put that into perspective for you as another way to visualize the strength of the current trend compared to the recent weakness. Again, this is gonna just kind of give us a little bit more of an insight into why people are getting unreasonably bullish again and unreasonably excited again. This is one way that we can kind of visualize why that's the case. But anyway, just zooming back in onto the 4-hour time frame real quick, we did break the resistance right here, and like I showed you with the Ichimoku cloud, we're doing well with this cloud as well. I mean, we're kind of we managed to penetrate about more than half of the distance of this cloud, and we are just now potentially running out of steam a little bit. But I mean, if we look at this on a smaller time frame, again, this pattern that we're in right now, this rising wedge, it's actually typically a bearish pattern. It's the exact inverse of this pattern right here, where we trade downwards and then we trade downwards slowly, indicating that we're going to reverse back up. It's one of the key things I was talking about on this channel. Guys, just give me a like on this video if you found those things useful. We were 100% on point with this stuff. People really expecting the market to drop through the floor, and that's exactly when I switched my bias to become bullish on this market again. And if you guys were paying attention to this channel back when the market was starting to top out, I was warning you guys about weakness in the trend over here, and I started to turn bearish right around over here. Huge moves. They're turning bearish at the right time and bullish at the right time as well with this analysis. And guys, if you want to jump inside VIP and watch how I'm trading as well, you can do so by following these steps on screen. I just want to make it very clear, I'm not implying that I was trading those same moves right there. I didn't actually make the best trades ever in this range. Lost a little bit of money. It's a very difficult range, but obviously these things get better with liquidity that's getting added in, which is happening right now. If the market is pumping, we're going to see more liquidity. If the market is dumping, we're going to see more liquidity. And I think that's one of the primary problems that you know, traders have encountered in this range, is if you just look at the volume, it's been so shit. And that makes it really difficult to trade, because you start competing with bots, you start competing with algorithms, which, yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no chance to be better than a bot or algorithm in my opinion. And I've tried it for years, trust me. Like, I've tried everything. You just can't do it. I mean, they are programmed to beat you at your own psychology. So it doesn't matter how smart you think you are, you can have a hard time beating them. Some people can, and God bless them, but I can't. I'm not one of them. But if you do want to see how I'm going to be trading these markets on the whole, it has been absolutely amazing this year. especially you know, when the market is trending very, very clearly. It is so easy to rip beautiful gains. You know, you guys have seen what I've been able to do in this market. If you want to watch me doing that in real time moving forward, navigating my wins, navigating my losses, then follow these steps on screen right here. We've seen beautiful results from VIP members throughout this year. This guy just became a millionaire at the very beginning of this year, actually, inside of Forfly's VIP. Some beautiful testimonials, beautiful results right here. And if you do want to jump inside these other steps on screen, but just moving us back to the chart right here. As I was saying, this is typically a pretty bearish pattern, a bullish pattern, indicating that the market is going to reverse. And this rising wedge pattern is exactly the same, but in the inverse, where we're moving up and then we're moving up slowly, indicating that we might lose momentum and then start crashing down like a ball, just dropping like a ball. And that is something very much to keep in mind. However, you know, like I did just show you, we have support just below this entire range right here. So I mean, as soon as we get a bearish breakdown, we're going to be in support. So you know, this is kind of the beauty of Bitcoin, right? It can paint these things really quickly. Bearish divergence here as well. It's generally a bearish sign, but Bitcoin, it actually, you know, this is one of the weird exceptions with Bitcoin, where it generally uses these kind of patterns in a very bullish way and gets a bullish breakout. And I'm sure I can find you a million examples of that if I look for like 2 seconds. Bam, right here. Here's a very easy example. We're moving up and then we're moving up slowly, indicating that we're going to reverse, but we don't, and the market keeps on rising up. It's actually a very typical pattern. Here's a much smaller example of the same thing happening, and I can go back and find you even more, right? Here's an example of where it didn't work out. We were moving up quickly, slowed down, and we did actually reverse. So, you know, it's not 100% foolproof, but right here we have 2 separate instances where Bitcoin forms the same pattern of losing momentum. And of course, if we were showing you the RSI at this time, you would also see that the RSI was starting to look bearish. But you know, like I said, it's typically a very bullish pattern for Bitcoin. So that's just something I want to keep on your radar right now. You know, I think that Bitcoin has a very high probability of continuing to break up, even if it first gets a little bit of a drop. I think it's got a very high probability of continuing to move up in this market at the moment as we approach some of these higher resistance levels. And of course, you know, potentially looking at perhaps, you know, a double top around the 50K level, or maybe a little bit higher up to where we topped out previously, just below $52,000 would be a beautiful double top, and it would be right in the middle of all of that daily EMA resistance. Just take a look at this. It would be absolutely fantastic. It would be so obvious. Look at that, right in the middle of that entire range, if we do end up getting a market topping out right there. And of course, this is where I want to refer you back to the Trusted Fear and Greed Index, which I've been using a lot on this YouTube channel lately. It's at a reading of 45, guys. I mean, this means that, yeah, we're in fearful territory, but we're pretty much neutral, right? I mean, if we tick up one more, we're going to be in neutral territory pretty much. And that's not good, right? People are turning bullish too quickly. We have no reason to be this bullish right now. It's still a big downtrend for Bitcoin, right? We are potentially just now getting that strong relief rally that I said we need to get. And you know what? That can mean that this thing rallies a lot higher. But the fact is, ladies and gents, Bitcoin has so much resistance up ahead that even if it breaks 54, that's not the end of the resistance. Then we have horizontal resistance. We need to break at 60 and then 64 and then the previous all-time high. And you know, this is the thing, is it's just going to be really difficult for Bitcoin to navigate these things given its current state. And that's why I think that this optimism is really unwarranted. You know, the market is not going to be rising up so nicely right now if people are immediately, and I mean immediately, just like with the snap of a finger, becoming very excited with the market again and losing all of their extreme fear. I mean, we were in extreme fear for a long time right here. We had readings of 16, we had readings of 21, right? And all of a sudden, look at this jump right here. I mean, this is absolutely huge, and it's the biggest jump that we've had in a month. It's absolutely ridiculous seeing how quickly, and again, it's the same thing I was warning about on the channel as well. It's just funny to see it playing out so obviously in front of us, where I was saying that if we get this breakout, people are going to really get very excited again. But my God, I did not expect people to be this stupid. And again, like, you can doubt the data, and you should. You have to question these things. But from the sentiment I've seen across socials and so on, I'm with it. I believe it, right? I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense at the same time, and I think that's why we are potentially getting set up. Yeah, sure, for a little bit more upside movement. Absolutely, I'm with you there. I think it can happen, and in fact, I have a trade set up, to potentially trade that kind of direction. However, to catch more resistance and then get a disgusting, brutal drop back down, to me, it looks so likely. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at right there in terms of where this market could be headed. But the other thing that I want to talk about is where some of these altcoins could be headed, because the thing is, ladies and gents, is that Bitcoin right here is in a position where if it does manage to get a drop, if it manages to rise up a little bit more and get a drop down, these altcoins, they've been losing so much power against Bitcoin, right? Even Ethereum, which is the strongest performer against Bitcoin in terms of the majors right now, has not been performing well over this past little while, pretty much since the beginning of December. But if you look at other coins like Cardano, it's even more obvious, right? I mean, they've just been losing so much strength relentlessly. I mean, it's just been endless losing strength against Bitcoin. Absolutely disgusting price action. We see it across the charts. Look at Tron. I mean, there's so many examples. Look at this disgusting drop right here. My God, Ethereum didn't drop by that much, maybe like 5%, but Tron, look at this, down by 15%. If we look at Cardano for the very same time frame, let's see this. I mean, it's a slightly different chart, but for the December high to the current price, it's lost 14% against Bitcoin. That's against Bitcoin. Bitcoin has also been dropping against the dollar. And so, my point is right now is that these altcoins are in a really weak position, and we could be looking at a major catastrophic drop for them. And I'm going to warn you guys about that and make a proper video about it relatively soon. Like Shiba is another great example of this. Look at this right here. I was warning you guys about this a long time ago, where it's going to have this beautiful area of support right here at the 3300 level. But if it drops this area of support, there is no support until we come back down here, which is at the 700 area, which is a huge drop. I mean, I don't even know what percentage drop that is. It must be like 80%. Look at this. It's a 70% drop. And from our current price, we're looking at about 77. And the last time I was warning you guys about altcoins, like Shiba getting a big drop like this, the big warning I gave was up here. And so, I really want you guys to keep this in mind, where this channel is all about, having that approach where we're not necessarily being contrarians just because it's fashionable, but we're actually applying logic for this stuff so we can stay distanced from the market, emotionally distanced, carry out very good, objective, clear analysis, and then pick a strong bias and put money behind it. That's all about what trading is. We need to carry out the best possible analysis we can carry out, and then we need to pick a side and have the balls to put some money behind it. And that's all that the game of trading is. And if you think that that's something you want to be able to watch me doing, then bam, these are the steps on screen. There's so much you can gain access to. Yearly members get phone calls with me as well, so we can get on the phone as soon as you join, talk through your trading, your strategy, and so on, get some good pointers moving forward, and then follow that up, as much as you like, whether you want to have another call after a week or a month and so on. We have started to do that just now for yearly members. And of course, with Bitcoin, now being at $49,000 compared to the previous all-time high, you are seeing a discounted USD price for VIP. So if you want to get in for less, then bam, again, these are the steps on screen to join Flies VIP. And I actually, just before I get back to the charts here, I want to make a quick announcement right here. VLaunch, you guys have heard me talking about them for a while, is listing on Bitmex today. At the time of me recording this video, it's in about 3 hours that they're going to be listing on Bitmex. You guys know about Bitmex. I was talking about them before. I used to have a partnership with them, or a sponsorship even. And it is a good exchange. I do have an account with them. I don't use it anymore, but obviously if VLaunch is going to be there, that's a slightly different story. It's the only exchange for VLaunch at the moment, although they will be having more. So definitely take a look at this. I think their hype is going to be ridiculous. If for anything else, just to watch the chart as a psychological phenomena, it's going to be very interesting, because just look at the backing they have off this, right? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculously huge, and it's all going down right now today. So like I said, this is one of the fairly obvious picks for me that I think in terms of altcoins blowing up. This one, I think, I just can't see it going badly. Obviously it can, anything is possible, but I invested in this myself, and I wouldn't do that just for nothing, right? So I think that this is definitely something to keep an eye on. Go ahead and follow their Twitter, bam, right there, vlaunch.com, and of course join their Telegram group as well. It should be in the description, but if not, you will see it just on their Twitter page as well. But just moving back to the charts, like I said, I think, yeah, because of all the situations that we have right now with the various different you know, kind of bearish opportunities that could be arising for Bitcoin, and you know, the altcoins getting potentially a little bit of a relief rally, I am very, very concerned about them starting to drop again, and that's just something, I mean, we'll have to wait for time to confirm that, but like I said, I am going to be making a video specifically about it, maybe even later today, so make sure that you are subscribed, and you'll be able to watch that video later today, because it's obviously going to be very time sensitive and very, very important. So of course you want to be able to catch these videos as soon as you can. But there you go, guys, you have heard my thoughts right there. A very, very well-rounded piece of analysis where I've covered all of the key time frames that I like to look at and given you guys my opinions on what I think could be happening next. If you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, jump inside of 4Flies VIP if you've been curious. We are offering so much value to people who want to trade well in a market like this. We've seen absolutely amazing results inside of this group. I don't even talk about it on the YouTube channel, you know, compared to what we actually have on offer and the kind of results we have, but you can get access to all the information by following these steps on screen right here, and we'll see you on the other side. You know, one of the key things I think to be able to do in this range right now is look at what's happening and learn lessons and evolve a strategy, and that's something I've been able to do at a very minimal cost. You know, like I said, I have lost a little bit of money, but really not that much. If I had to quantify it, I don't know the actual number, but it's an extremely small number, maybe like 1 to 3% that I've lost. But I've learned a lot about how this market is evolving, and that kind of 1 to 3% is just the cost of lessons in order to blow up an account. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but generally this is how it works in the game of trading. And if you want to be able to watch that process in real time, you're seeing the ugly side, you're seeing the fucking sexy side. It's all about trading in real life, in real time. If you want to be able to watch that with the processes that I'm following, gain a really deep insight into how I'm thinking about these markets in real time, this is the only way to do it. So bam, there you go. Hope you have enjoyed this YouTube video, guys. If you have, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.